Hello, everybody. How are you? Guys, it's Joe. We're back with another video series, a brand new one. This one is going to be on the city of Tucson. We were doing Omaha last week and the week before, and this is a brand new week. And I didn't honestly get quite as many videos out last week as I wanted to because dealing with the various problems associated with the coronavirus. And I'll do a whole separate video on that one of these days. I don't, because this is a parody channel and a goofy channel, I hesitate to talk about such a serious subject in that light or in that along those lines. So I'm going to wait on that. But yeah, no, I didn't get coronavirus, and I hope I don't. But there was so much going on here in Los Angeles that I needed to figure out some different things and make sure I was protected and people that I work with are protected. And I'll get into all that. But for now, I just want to talk about the fact that Tucson is our new topic in terms of, I talk about a lot of different things in this channel. What I'm trying to do is every week in the mix of videos that I do, spotlight a different town or city or community. So we've done Phoenix, we've done Omaha. We're going to do Tucson. I did Denver. I did what else did I do? I can't ever remember now. And try to do one each week. Now, if the city is big enough and has so much going on, I extend it to 2 weeks just because I can't get it all in and get sleep. And I barely sleep as it is. So, Tucson, I'm trying to stay in the top 50 markets in the United States for now. And then I'll expand that to Canada and other countries as we go. And basically, they're not real factual. They're based in fact. Like, so here's what I do. I essentially take the skimpiest of facts and then extrapolate that into a what I call a funhouse mirror of the real story that is completely convoluted and silly. But it makes me laugh, and part of the reason is, part of the goal is to just kind of take my brain out for a exercise every day, kind of like you would go to the gym. And by making it up as I go, it challenges me to make associations and connections that, you might not otherwise make. Or it's not that you might not otherwise make. You would never make. What was the one the other day I was talking about? It doesn't even matter. So that's that type of humor is not to everybody's taste. I guess some people call it absurdism. Some call it surrealism. I don't really know. But and where I really learned to do it, I kind of been doing it all my life. We used to drive to Cedar Point when I was in high school, or not high school, but when I was in college. We used to drive to Cedar Point. That's a semi-famous, or if you're in Ohio, super famous amusement park with these with the best roller coasters, certainly in Ohio, but maybe in the Midwest and maybe in the country. They've always just been really on the cutting edge of roller coasters and the most terrifying and the biggest and the most technically advanced. So, as kids, or young adults, that's the good thing. That's the thing to do. So we used to drive there. And on the way, I would tell stories about the people in the car. I would just make them up. And, people, for some reason, just because I think you're young and dumb, that was entertaining at the time. So I've kind of done it all along and always been that kind of kid, just making up baloney pretty readily. But then once I got to Los Angeles, I took formal training in it at Second City, which you may be familiar with, which is the organization that spawned a lot of the big Saturday Night Live stars, John Belushi, etc. And then I also took training at the Groundlings, which has produced a lot of people as well. And these are schools associated with the companies, the performing companies. So I went to this schools that they offer, for outrageous prices. So I did Second City, Groundlings, and some UCB. And it's Upright Citizens Brigade, which is essentially another improv/theater group in Los Angeles. And that one's a branch of the original, which was in New York. Second City originated in Chicago, and Groundlings originated here and is located, I think, only in Los Angeles. So that's where they train you to improv and basically build a scene with a performing partner, another actor on stage, build a scene out of nothing. So one partner would start and make a statement or make some kind of motion or to set the scene with a simple statement, and then the other partner would join in and build on that. And the whole concept, or one of the core concepts, is the idea of yes and. So you do in this particular type of comedy theater, and I'm talking about improv, not sketch. In terms of improv, you don't want to deny what your performing partner has said, because what that does is stop the scene. So if you're a woman and you say, well, my baby, I'm so excited, the baby is due in 3 months. And then I, as the other person on the stage, says, well, that can't be because you're not even pregnant. See, that's called yes, no. I mean, that's called no and. So you don't want to do that. The idea of yes and is you agree with whatever they say and then you build upon it. So the woman might say, I can't believe my baby's due in 3 months. I'm so excited. And I might say, hey, I'm excited too, because I know I'm not the father, right? So now we have a scene building. You can feel it already. You can sense, well, you're in your mind. Your mind automatically says, well, wait a minute. Who is the father, right? And you just come up with, you just keep adding on to that on stage. Along with scene work, which is using your body to, build the scene and, holding objects and making it look like you're in an actual room or place or wherever it might be. A train, plane, automobile, subway, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, wherever it might be in the car. And so that really helped me trust the process. So, and that's part of why I do these videos every day. And I know they're not to everybody's taste, but I like them. And eventually enough people will find them and that like them too. And then but it's not all I do, but it's a daily workout, really, is what it is. And then ultimately what I do is I'll take the videos and turn them into articles or essays, and then make those into printed books. And when I say printed, I may mean just digital copies or paper copies, whatever. I'm not sure. In a book series that I started way back in 1998 called Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems. So there's been a series of those books, and I think we're up to, I don't know how many we got, but there's a bunch now. So, for example, last week we did a bunch of videos in Omaha. That will be a book called Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems in Omaha. Well, that was a long-winded explanation, but this is just the intro video to Tucson. We're not going to get too deep into it, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of do a weekly explanation for people that are new to the channel of what the heck is going on. So that's basically it. It's me improving with myself, hopefully every day. Only in certain situations, like with this coronavirus, have I just been so busy dealing with it that I haven't had time. So let me clarify that, because that sounds kind of ominous. I don't have it. No, I don't know anybody that has it, but just in terms of the different projects that I got going, I had to make sure that people were safe, and that if anybody that I am working on a project with wasn't available, can I get somebody else, and et cetera, et cetera. And I'll explain all that mysterious statement later. But yeah, everything's fine. It's just a matter of working around the virus and making sure no one's that we're adhering to the CDC's recommendations to self-quarantine and just do all that stuff. And so let's get into Tucson. This is just the intro video. We're not going to be all crazy about it. We're just trying to get an idea of what is going on, especially for people that are from outside the United States. They might not know. You'd also be surprised if people inside the United States don't know where anything is. But basically, Tucson is in Arizona. It's in Pima County. If you were to head southeast of Phoenix and head toward El Paso, Texas, you would more than likely drive through through Tucson. It's very close to the Mexican border, more or less, and it's about 520,000 people, and that's including the whole area. And it's, like I said, a top 50 market in the United States, which we're going to focus on primarily until I expand it. And if you look at the broader, what they call the MSA, that's the wider area, you're looking at 980,000 people. So there's a bunch of folks. And blah, blah, blah. Second most populated city in Arizona, of course, after Phoenix. And then from Phoenix, it's located about just over 100 miles, I think. And then it's closer, actually, to El Paso, to the U.S.-Mexico border, probably an hour's drive away from there. And depending on how you drive. Now, I know some of you guys are maniacs. You could probably drive it faster than that. So in terms of, like I said, the top 50 markets, it's the 33rd largest city in the country. Okay. Yeah, bigger than you thought, I bet. I bet you didn't think it was top 50. I bet. But it's home to the University of Arizona, and you may know them as the Wildcats. The Wildcats! And I think it competes with Arizona State in terms of party school legend status. But it's in the Arizona. I'm gonna just ballpark this from when I remember looking this up. But Cleveland has like 125 days of sun a year. Los Angeles has 300 days of sun a year, and Phoenix/Tucson has 330 days of sun a year. And I'm just going by memory on that, but I think that's pretty close. And the way that they determine if a day is quote unquote sunny is if it has the majority of sun during the day. And so it doesn't mean that it's sunny from sun up to sundown, but just that most of the day is sunny, I believe, is the way that they do that. So as you can guess, being out there in the desert, it's a very sunny city. And then, that's why these state schools are kind of known as party schools. Well, of course. It's sunny every day. You've got beautiful people going to sun-splashed schools with ready amounts of alcohol available. What do you think is going to happen? People are going to get all loopy. So, University of Arizona Wildcats are in Tucson. First time you ever heard it called loopy, didn't you? Isn't it? Didn't it? So what are we going to talk about? If you're new to the channel, what I do is in the first few videos, we'll talk about the history of Tucson, why is it there? Where did it come from? What was the original purpose of this town? And then look at how it developed over time. And generally, we talk a little bit, as much as information is available about the native peoples that lived there before the Europeans came rolling over the sands and ruined everything. And then, then we'll talk about, present day, the economy, the climate, the geography, the culture, music, sports, of course, employers, education, and politics and that kind of stuff, media. And what's fun is it will be interviewing people in Tucson. And I can't guarantee there'll be actual people that exist, but nonetheless, we'll get people on the phone and talk to them about life in Tucson. So that is the quick snapshot. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Suburbs of Tucson include Oro Valley and Marana. How do you say it? Marana? Marana. Marana. Then you have South Tucson. Okay. You have Sahuarita. And communities nearby include Flowing Wells. That's a great name, right? Flowing Wells, Vale, Tanque Verde, Tortolita, the Catalina Foothills, and Casas Adobes. If you go further out, you've got Oracle, Green Valley, Benson, and some other areas. So we'll talk about those, or we'll just make up our own suburbs. I don't know how to say we. I'm just talking about me. Just depends on what happens, man. I just open the mind up and see where it goes. It's like taking your brain out for a drive without really having any plans. I remember I dated this girl that we would just go for drives. This was in Cleveland. We would just go for drives. We didn't know where we were going. We're like, okay, go here, turn there. We didn't care. And then we're just looking for a place to eat lunch or to spend the day. We just liked being with each other, talking in the car, driving around, exploring. We had a general idea, like, let's go up towards whatever. And we'd drive around there. And, I can't say we didn't pull over to the side of the road occasionally and make out. But, fun times, not really having a plan. So then that relationship, of course, broke up, as I'm always highly skilled at ruining perfectly good relationships with women. And I was then dating another lady in Ohio later. And I was telling her this. I said, oh, yeah, me and this other girl that I just mentioned, we used to just drive around. This is the early days of when you're getting to know somebody in a new relationship. And I don't know how the topic came up in terms of driving or whatever. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, we would just drive around Ohio and find cool towns and, places we've never seen. And we'd go, hey, look at that. Look at that thing over there. That's pretty cool. And she's like, I could never do that. This is the girlfriend number 2 in this scenario. She's like, I could never do that. I have to have an itinerary planned out. Everything needs to be planned out. We're going to do this and do this. And I go, yeah, well, on a Saturday, you just never woke up and go, hey, let's head up toward the XYZ place that everybody talks about. Well, I would, but I would have reservations. How do you know that you need? And here's the weird thing. I always thought that was so annoying, the way she described it.